Okay, so Kamala Harris, since you watch my channel, I know you're gonna spin my words and you're gonna take a footnote from what I'm saying and you're gonna spin it dialectically. So for the people that's still on this channel that's not Kamala, I would break it down like Sigourney Weaver in the movie Alien. Like she was trying to recruit people to go to the planet where the alien took over their ship, where there's like a crack. They have a human vessel that got taken over by aliens. They were going there to do experiments, and it's not radical to associate those experiments with Florida's capital punishment, because it's nothing more than a signal to people who have no reason to worry. If you're not killing your best friend in the car like in Y&W Melly, why are you worried about it? You don't want to kill anybody, do you? Okay. But we need a signal that's saying that we disdain people or something like that, and you look like those people. So we're killing you. And that's going to get you all, activated and everything. You're going to go and show righteous indignation that they demand on the mainstream media. They say, where is it? We want to see it. Where is it? Where's the righteous indignation? That comes out of some Bible study shit. Righteous indignation is supposed to be something in the end days that is like sorrows and tribulation and shit like that, where it's like it's intolerable. It's almost like existing is the most difficult at its peak of difficulty when there's so much of this righteous indignation, and they're just fucking asking you for it out point blank. Where is it? We want to see it. How do you get to do? How do you get to do that? You would have to fucking take over the mass media conduit and then disavow the CIA and say we're no longer in the CIA. Since now we have this position, we like this better, and we're just gonna bring you fair and balanced, sponsored fucking movies that they practically filming out here in the street. People like Leo Cohen, fucking Vlad TV and shit like that. They're not, really like that kind of people. Like, it's just like popularizing our shit, whatever it is, for better or for worse. It seemed like. But like the better part, I don't have anything against them. I have nothing against like some music producer named Ahmed that fucking helped a blind piano player. It's just different now. It's just like now it's like we want to see you drink 2 liters of Dr. Pepper till you bleed from your nose and you have diabetes and you get a million views. Like, I want to see you crack that bottle over your head for $500. I'm gonna get you there with $50 donations. I'm not rocking with you like that. Watching your channel, hit the subscribe and like it. You gotta get mad. Oh shit. But then you'll be shadow banned by that time, because you're not really supposed to be like that. And okay, because I said that we're having a signal, and that killing you is not as bad as draconian legislation that takes away your liberty to defend yourself and then throws away the best years of your life. Like, is that more racist? Which one is more racist? Can you just... That's humane. You see what I'm talking about? Got me worried about fucking how many jurors it takes to get you to over to the death row, and all I want to do is build and promote and grassroots and support. When are they going to get the buses and the train? You know what I mean? It's not a lockdown anymore. You see, it's just the malaise left over from the lockdown, when you can argue whether or not it affects you, that the corporate hegemon just demanded that the society masks and cover the most potent aspect of expression, the face. And then later on, they're going to act like it wasn't them, it was you that was telling everybody they're not welcome, and old people kindling, and you gotta, like kids gotta play, and fucking Farron Cousins' asthmatic child is locked in his fucking room, and he's gotta wear the fucking mask on a hot day, and his fucking dad is proud to be laying down beside his wife and taking dick at the same time. Can't tell me that that's not social, and that you didn't have to be fucking shaking off the Xans for forever to get to where you like that descending, constantly downward frequency of everlasting falling from fucking grace. Dickhead. You want to tell me to stay dangerous? You took a safe option so you can strike a good boy chord. Right now, people are blaming women for ruining everything, when they were only susceptible to the dialectics initially because they're not brand specific. If you notice the way that they shop, they don't look for everything to be brand. If they can make a style, they can go to the thrift store. You're supposed to fucking know better. They know how to pop some style and fucking get it from somewhere where you can create value, where it's salvage or secondhand or something like this. They can go to Target and make it seem like they're in fashion. That's they're supposed to do, but that's also their There's also their weakness too. Initially, until some white knight fucking sucking up simping good boys and fucking, it's just like crying about a platform. Who gets to be a platform, and who is an echo chamber? This is a echo chamber too. I'm talking on an echo chamber, but it's been that from elements outside of my control that make it an echo chamber. You know what I mean? It's not it's a synthetic echo chamber, which is, it's not, because it is for me. So I'm doing this because I owe it to myself. It's not the kind of echo chamber that you could say, okay, now the only people watching this is hate watching, and I'm blocking and only listening to people that regurgitate my own catalog perspective of things that I think I know already, presented as information about something new that you don't know. They're probably pulling rank on you and about a technology encryption or something, trying to be opaque as fuck. Because there's another aspect of good behavior that you could say is also a bane to the psychopathy. So it's like they see it as privilege, and you're supposed to get that. You're supposed to get it. It's an aspect of good behavior that comes from not being a serf class and in a caste system. Like, it's going to be leaning toward a technocratic caste system. And then, since we already can't establish a serf class the same way without the technocrat, then we went out of the old autocracy into the technocracy, and the Queen is part of it. The Queen of England is part of it, sponsoring it. Like Wall Street funded the Bolsheviks, the Queen of England, and Tavistock and all them. You know what I mean? They rebelled against their parents. And all we know of it is that their parents were waspy, what's it called? Patriarchal, like fascistic, when in actuality they have a lot more going on than modern society on their brain, on their head, on their mind. They had more things going on, even in the realm of fancy, like freaking science fiction type of. You could say it's rudimentary, and you could see the beginnings of something that we've taken, and but you can't say that we've raised it. You know what I mean? It's just that we have pictures now instead of words. They could do something else with the words behind our back while we're distracted and shit. Contextual, trapping you in a repetition cycle of a curriculum that's going to fall in on itself and you start over almost every day since the 1980s. It's the corporate hegemon. They're not ready for you to process. They're not ready for you to process perspective that you had to be patient for, that you had to wait for. They had to filter through a few that was not right for you. While you're waiting for the right one, you're not conclusive and you're not regurgitating what I'm telling you. So I don't like that. So like, come on, hurry up. Like, come on, you know. Where's the righteous indignation that's gonna make it unbearable? And I got another way to explain it. Is the four corners. It takes a long time. Has to do with Prometheus and fucking where you get the word torture. Fucking the subconscious amenta and projecting a thought through a conduit into the physical domain as being one of the four corners of hell. And then another one is that rolling over of determinism into austerity, and then being ushered out into the forefront of a municipality to cause conflict and then engage the what's it called to be the precipice of fire and brimstone, which is the municipality fucking crumbling, raining fucking rocks and fire down on us. And then the aristocracy can reform and they can recapture the push of the modality, which from your grain seed storage enclave society modality, a puff of white smoke lets you know that we got a new pope. And it's similar to mushroom spores, fucking, you know what I mean, that can survive immense heat and the vacuum of space and hundreds of thousands of years. This fucking open a portal and go through like fucking Elon Muscarina, the Spores X space mission with the magnetic vectoring spore signature across the fucking sky, like telling you about a clean modality of tesseracting information protected by a shell, you know, to impregnate an ocean on a distant planet, which is, since I'm not telling you that we have the ability to do that with other planets, doesn't mean that that's not what it really is. You're talking about an inferior technology versus the technology where you get the terminology for military, for birds of the aviary. It's the intention of the shell and protecting information, valuable information. And they like information. Like the military is basically just needs to thrive on just good intel. Really. It's like sap. It's like sucrose. It's like the sugar, the sap in the tree. It makes the leaves wake back up when they were looking like, if you try to hold currency, you have to pay your troops. You have to compensate your troops to do what they might not wanted. They're like, why the fuck would I want to do that? It's not like, because they already know how to fob. They already know how to forward operating base when they're just hunting for soul food and looking in the forest for the soul food. So they found a fucking really heavy, dense stone that you can strike over and over and over again with heat, and fucking decided to bring it home, places in the middle of the fucking house. And they can make grain, and they can do all kinds of shit with it from the basis of a forward operating base out in fucking nature. Doesn't mean you're against technology. You got to use the technology to smelt the iron. You got to go down to the creek. You got to find some yellow slime. Yeah, you need kiln work. You need to be able to make cordage, so you can make a stone axe head, a split fucking rock. That's the evidence of advanced civilization, is the stone axe head. After the saline in the air dissolved the steel beams and all the buildings and oxygen and rain and constantly freezing and contracting and expanding, you break down that rocks down. You know what I mean? It just looked like the ground's all white in a spot with different rocks, and then it would turn brown, and then it would be covered with grass. How you like them apples? The pause button, and you know about Solomon's Temple and the two obelisk. You know what I mean? You always find one laying on its side and you think that they're not finished. Like, oh, this one wasn't finished. It's not erected to place a lot of weight down on a single small location, because underground they have a triple beam thing that pushes up from the middle, creates a pocket of air, and they go in and they hide the papyrus or paper, which is diagrams and manuals and of knowledge and information preserved on paper, from damage to water in a savannah, when you live in the savannah like King Solomon. So we got the pause the knowledge button on the fucking remote control, and each one of those, like, I can break down the fuck out of each. The square is an earth symbol. The circle is a lot of different symbols: transformation, revolution, wholeness of being. It's like a star. What stars are is like a recorder of time from your location in the whatever multiverse thing. I don't know. I'm gonna get all into that. Showing proof I won't know nothing after I describe emptiness and form, and don't know it's time to call it quit.